I worked with sixth graders, and the teacher actually told me that her scores were much higher than any of the other scores, and it pulled up the whole school. I was delighted.
I think it's my responsibility to do this, and I also think it's everyone's responsibility to do this.
Hunger, homelessness, public safety, the environment. Our communities have a multitude of needs and problems, but our communities also have a great strength. They have older Americans who are helping solve problems with the skills and talents that come from experience.
Retired Senior Volunteer Program is a program for people 55 and over to work in many different capacities in the community.
If you go to RSVP and tell them what you'd like to do, they can help people find the niche that makes them most useful.
We have volunteers all over the United States working with homeless people, working with police departments, crisis clinics, tutoring in schools.
The value of that experience and maturity is something our communities just can't do without.
I really do think it gets into your blood and you just pass that on.
You did a good job. I think so.
This huge group of people are called the Senior Gleaners. We volunteer, we pick in the orchards, we gather food from stores, and we distribute it to about 52 agencies. Last year, we delivered 521 tons of food.
It goes all kinds of places, but for needy people.
That's it. They get heavy, huh? Yep, they do. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Kind of heavy.
Señora, buenas tardes. Mucho gusto en que venga a visitarme aquí. ¿En qué le podemos servir? I'm doing a lot of things helping out people through the RSVP. Tengo que hacer esa pregunta. This time of the year, in a special way, is the income tax. I'm helping them out from January to April. ¿Puede usted darme el nombre de su niña? I saw people when they are gratified, when they receive the services. Mucho gusto. Le deseo muy buena suerte.
So we're basically eyes and ears for the deputies. We patrol the neighborhoods throughout the county area here every day. And if we see some problems, we get on our radios and report it. We do the vacation home checks, help with traffic control. We also check on elderly that are shut in and need somebody to stop by and check on them periodically.
We've saved the city a lot of money. Even if we figured at $10 an hour, we've saved them like $500,000. We cut down on car thefts in the city, and we've cleaned up the downtown area quite a bit.
God bless all of you.
We'll be calling you tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
When this engine turns at 1,200 RPM, you're probably getting about... We are in the basement of the Aerospace Museum Restoration Shop. This is where we put together all of our displays, either building or restoring.
Hey, where'd you get the parts?
We made them. We have a staff of 300 volunteers who devote their spare time to restoring aircraft for the museum because of their love of aviation.
Everything you see here is old, including the volunteers.
When I retired from the Navy, I came down here and signed in as a volunteer 22 years ago. In the airplane, they'll do this.
I come here for several reasons. You can give back to the community, and another thing, you have something to do that you think is important to yourself. And not only that, you're in the atmosphere that you enjoy.
Thanks for the expert design. Thanks for the expert.
Working on the environment is a great way to leave your mark on the future and to leave something worthwhile for your grandchildren.
And so what we're trying to do is create better habitat, and so to do that, we are planting a bunch of different varieties of trees and plants.
The stream team that I'm working on here, planting trees along the rivers and streams, you can see those trees as the years go by, and they'll send coming up the streams, and that'll be very gratifying.
Well, as
It's a feeling of satisfaction, of being part of a whole system. It's like you really feel like you do make a difference. You're making your mark. And maybe it's going to last. Maybe somebody will see that mark somewhere along the way.
It's very exciting to think that you're changing the world.
If we don't do it, it's not going to be done.
I've got so much in all my life. I've gotten so much from life, and I think I can give back a little bit now for a few more years until however long I last.
Today's seniors are a vital, vibrant solution to the difficult problems our country faces. There are 33 million older people in America, more than ever before. And there will be twice as many by the time our grandchildren grow up. We are strong and independent, with the wisdom to change things, like helping tutor the millions of people who cannot read, helping feed those who go to bed hungry,
We'll do it.
and helping children learn so they're ready to succeed in this world.
More enthusiasm.
The world can be hard, but we can make it better. We can give. We can inspire. We can lead. We can truly make a difference.
When my kids were little and I was little, we had grandparents and aunts and uncles and everything around, but the kids nowadays don't have that.
That's right.
Being a foster grandparent helps me to pass on to future generation the joy of reading.
I don't know, some kind of magical, mystical intuition that a grandparent has. They can just tune in immediately on a child's need. And our children have multiple needs. Grandparents just somehow have a way of understanding that child's need, talking to them, and making them feel good about themselves. I don't know how they do it.
We're here to give a lot of nurturing. We're here to give a lot of advice. We're here, we have a shoulder for them to listen to lean on when they need us. You know, no one is immune to a personal problem. And sometimes, even you can't, when you're a little girl, you couldn't talk to your parents. And this is where Grandma comes in. So what I'm doing now, I'm giving back. I'm trying to give back, to pay back for some of the things that society has done for me.
Senior companion is a senior person usually who visits other seniors, although the one that's visiting is a little more mobile. He gets around, the other ones don't. The other ones are generally housebound pretty much. And they don't get out to meet people, they don't get out to have some human contact. So we go and visit them maybe once or twice a week for a few hours and just talk, ordinary chatting, take them shopping if necessary, or help them pick up their medications from the drugstore or something like that. We also keep an eye on whether or not they're taking their medications and how their general well-being is, how their emotional and physical well-being. And it's the simplest job in the world. It's just being a friend to somebody is what it amounts to, essentially.
Well, it's hard to decide who gets the most out of it. It keeps the senior companion as well as the client active. It makes the client feel as if they're not isolated. It prevents premature institutionalization. But for the senior companion, it allows them to help someone else who could be them in a few years.
I try to do it because I know my mother's 89 years old and somebody might have to help her. And when, well, I'm getting up in age and I don't believe in telling people how young I am, but I'm gonna get older and I would want somebody to help me like I'm helping these people.
The Retired Senior Volunteer Program, which is called RSVP, is a program for seniors 55 and over. The idea actually when it was first formed was that retired folks have so much interest and maturity and experience to give back.
When RSVP called me up, I answered the call and that was the best day of my life because I just beginning new life, I'm getting younger and younger.
Without the resources of the wisdom that seniors have in our communities, many things wouldn't operate at all.
The senior volunteers with RSVP give so much back. The value of that resource is just beyond measure.
We work with schools, tutoring, hospitals, libraries.
Working with homeless people, working with police departments, crisis clinics, just all over.
Last year, we delivered 521 tons of food. Without the volunteers, it would just, dry up and fall off and be a waste.
That's it. Get heavy, huh? Yeah, we do. Okay. Thanks a lot.
We're basically eyes and ears for the deputies. We patrol the neighborhoods throughout the county area here every day. And if we see some problems, we get on our radios and report it.
I'm making my mark with one kid at a time.
I'm making my mark.
Estoy dejando una marca. I'm making my mark.
I am making my mark.
I'm making my mark.
I'm making my mark.
Senior volunteers, we're part of the solution.